Hello and welcome to lifeconfident.com's live stream. Today I'd like to talk to you about faking it until you make it, being authentic. Let's put them both together. Now, I hear people asking all the time, can I fake it until I make it? In other words, can I pretend to be confident, for instance? And if I can do it for long enough, will I just become that confident person? And that's one of the problems, because most people can't put on an act for long enough for it to become a reality, for osmosis to transform us into that confident person. Now, the other thing that is a big roadblock to this this whole idea of faking it until you make it is the fact that you have to be congruent within yourself. You have to be able to believe that you're a confident person in order to become a confident person. And if you don't believe in what you're doing, if you don't believe in the act that you're putting on for people, then you can do it for 100 years and it's still going to be an act. But in fact, you're just going to run out of steam. You're going to run out of willpower before you can ever make it a reality. Think of willpower as being like the fuel that you put in your car. Sooner or later you're going to empty the tank and then you're just going to revert back to the state that you were before you started putting on this act. Now, there's another roadblock here. It's not just about believing the thing that you want to become, but it's about being authentic as well. Let me ask you this in order to illustrate the point. If you saw a rich person driving down the road in a supercar, a £1 million car, they've got the most expensive clothes on. Maybe they're driving down to the marina to get on their luxury yacht, or to go to a holiday in the south of France, where their second or third luxury villa home is waiting for them, and they've got a fleet of staff at every stop on the way looking after them and cleaning up after them and doing their shopping, manicuring their nails, doing their hair, whatever it is, and all this thing is, they don't even give a second thought to the millions that it's all costing, because they've got billions. Money is no object for them anymore. And you look at them and you think to yourself, well, I'm living in a rented one-bedroom flat. I'm going out and killing myself doing a job every day just to pay the rent. If I stop doing my job, then I can't pay my rent and I end up living on the streets. Why, why do they deserve all that? And I'm stuck with this life. How did they get that life? What did they do to get it? They probably did something criminal. They probably walked all over people to get to where they are. And if you've got this mindset about somebody like that, and you would like to become them, if you would like to become rich yourself, and let's face it, who doesn't want to have a lot more money and have their own life be a lot easier and make the lives of their loved ones easier? Who doesn't want that? But if you resent those people that have already got it, then how can you become them? Because you're looking at them and you're thinking, they're fake, they're criminals, they're bad people, and they've done bad things to get to where they are, to be that rich person, and if I want to be a rich person, then I've got to be that bad person too. And you're setting up a contrast, a conflict in your own mind, which can't be resolved. You can't become something that you dislike or you're suspicious of. And it's the same with confidence. You go to a party and you see that person that's that social butterfly who's going around the room and he's talking to everybody, or she's talking to everybody, and people hang off every word they say, and they're just magnetic personalities, and they can talk, and they don't get a blank mind. They don't get stuck for something to say. They've already always got a flow of conversation and patter, and they're just that kind of person. And then you look at yourself and you may be anxious, you may be stood at the bar and hoping nobody looks at you and tries to strike up a conversation. And if you do get into a conversation, your mind goes blank and you don't know what to say, and then there's awkward silences and that whole gastronomic delight of being a person that's shy or has social anxiety. And then you think to yourself, well, I want to become that person, but I resent that person because they've got all that. They're that socially confident person, and are they being fake? What happens when they leave the room? Are they like me? Are they just putting on a big act? How did they become that person? I'm jealous of them. I resent them because I am not them. And if you resent a person, again, you can't become them. So what's the answer? I mean, only you know if what I'm talking about is true for you. If you see that really socially confident person at a party, how do you feel about them? Do you want to be with them? Are you secretly jealous of them? Do you resent them because you're not able to be the way they are? Or do you celebrate them? Do you celebrate rich people? Because if you do, and you do it authentically, and you're doing it without lying to yourself, if you genuinely, and if you saw a billionaire walk down the road and you're walking past them in rags, would you celebrate them without resenting them, without being suspicious of how they got their wealth? Would you shake their hand or say, nice car, well done, congratulations? Or would you just quietly walk on by and quietly be jealous about it? Would it be the same for a highly confident person? Or would you celebrate them? Would you aspire to be them without any trace of resentment towards them? Because that's what authenticity is about. If you want to become something, you've got to love that thing in the first place in order to be able to get there, in order to do it without setting up a conflict in here that says, well, I want to be this thing, but I hate that thing, or I'm jealous of that thing, or I've got this negative emotion attached to that thing that I want to be. And if you do, you've got to get rid of it, burn it, get it out of your head, because transforming yourself into something new, something that's at this moment in time, it's out of your comfort zone. It's something you need to do a little bit gradually. You need to build up to it, and you need to convince your own brain that this is the path you want to take. This is the destination you want to reach. You don't have to make other people believe in you or convince them. You have to convince yourself first. And that whole thing is why faking it until you make it doesn't work, because you're trying to shortcut a journey by maybe hopping in an aeroplane and jumping to the end, but you've got there without doing the work of convincing your own brain that this is where you want to be. Think about a lottery winner that wins millions of pounds. They went from poverty to millionaire overnight, and you hear these stories all the time. Within 10 years of becoming a millionaire or a multimillionaire, they've lost it all, and they're right back at the beginning, because they never had that education on how to manage that wealth in the first place. And so they gradually lose it all, and there's only a few of them that will ever actually manage to retain it and keep that lifestyle. So I think that's all I have to say in this live stream, and I hope it's been useful for you to have a look at this whole fake it till you make it issue from this perspective. And I hope that if you do try it, then you're successful at it, and I will celebrate you for it. And I hope you'll comment and let me know how it goes. Until that time,